we'll come to standing. We'll take our feet comfortable distance apart. Chest is up, abs are braced, and we're going to sink those hips back and down. So we'll push those hips back and down as far as we feel we can, and then slowly back to standing. So I'm just going to repeat that a few times. We've got a couple to go. Last one. And we're going to come into some roll downs. So we'll allow those arms to hang heavy, we'll drop the chin to the chest. We're going to slowly roll as far down towards the floor as we feel we can go. And then we'll slowly roll back up to standing. And we'll repeat that a couple of times. Drawing as far towards the floor as we feel we can. Mobilising to the back of the body. Last one. From here we're going to squat, take the hands to the floor. I like to walk the hands out into a plank position, then either on the knees or toes. We're going to press up and we'll walk back towards our squats and then back to standing. And we'll just repeat that a couple of times. Walking those hands out into our plank, nice strong core brace on the knees or toes. Walking back to our squats. One more time. And then once we got back to standing, we've got a few squats. So chest is up, abs are braced, and we sink those hips back and down. Last one. And then we can rest. So we should be feeling more than ready to go. We're going to start with some squats today. Don't need our band for these ones. Bodyweight squats, we're going to keep them super slow though. So don't start yet. For these, feet come a distance apart. We're going to really slowly sink those hips back and down, going as low into the squat as you feel you can. Little pause to the bottom, little ease up to the top. We've got 3 sets. 10 reps in each round, and we're just going to keep them nice and slow. Are we ready? So feet comfortable distance. Let's go. So we slowly sink those hips back and down, squeezing the legs as we do. Chest stays lifted, abs are braced. We just sink as low into our squat as we feel we can. Little pause at the bottom here, and then up to the top. We'll go again, nice and slow. Keep that strong core brace the whole time. Good. 2, not 2 to go. 4 to go. And you can take the arms wherever you need to help you balance. You can take them out. That helps you keep the chest lifted. Now we've got 2 to go. Last one. Then we can rest. We can give those legs a little shake out. That's 1 round down. We've got 2 sets to go. So same thing after our rest. Nice slow squats. Keep that squeezing the legs as we do. So set 2, let's do the same thing. So we set his feet, comfortable distance apart, chest is up, abs are braced, shoulders drawn back, so we keep that chest lifted. And we slowly lower down into our squat. So we sink those hips back and down, keep it slow, just sinking as far into the squat as we feel we can, and again we can take the arms out, hands, or if we feel we need to, and then back to the top. So keep it slow. A little bit of a pause at the bottom of our range, bottom of our rep, as far into the squat as we feel we can. We keep that squeeze in the legs as we hold at the bottom though, because it's really important to look after the hips. Otherwise we're just hanging in it and we're putting all that stress in the joints, rather than actually using the muscles to look after them. Awesome, guys. Two to go in this set. One more. And we can rest. So again, we can give those legs a little shake out. If you need another drink, grab a little drink. Bit of recovery before we do one more round. You guys are doing fantastic work so far. Okay, third and final set of squats. It says feet comfortable distance apart again. Chest is lifted, abs are braced, shoulders are pulled back. Then we're going to push our hips back and down, just sink as low into the squat as we feel we can. Again, keep that squeeze at the bottom here. And we ease back to the top. Remember at the top we're not pushing the hips through, we're just coming to standing. And we do squeeze the glutes. That's good. Four to go. One more rep. And then we can rest. Give the legs a little shake out if we need them to. Not if we need to. They need a little shake out. Now we are going to need our band for the next bit of work. And we've got some lunges. Now here we're going to place the band under one foot. Handling each hand, or if we feel we need to, we can grab a little bit further down on the band so we create a bit more resistance into it. We're going to step the other foot back so we come into a nice long stance or wide stance. Heel back, heels lifted, feet are hip width apart. We want to keep the chest lifted and our abs braced. And as we keep those shoulders pulled back, keep that nice straight back. Now we're just going to bend the leg, lowering the back knee as far to the floor as we can. Keeping the front heel down, then we drive through that front leg, back to standing. And we repeat, so we keep it slow, keeping that control, staying upright, keeping that tension in the band. We've got one more on this side. Then we can step in. We'll change the band over. We step it under the other foot. We'll set a nice long stride back. Feet hip width apart. Standing tall, so we keep those shoulders drawn back and together. Then we think about just lowering that back knee as far to the floor as we can. We keep that front heel down. We drive through the legs, come back to standing. One more on this side. We can step in and rest. Release the band. We got a bit of recovery. And we got a second set of those. We're only doing 2 rounds. And so we have another 8 reps on each leg. Those again, good work today. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to place that band back under the front foot. And we either hold the handles, or if we want a bit more resistance, we grab a little bit further down on our band. We'll take the opposite foot back. Feet hip width apart. We stand nice and tall, so shoulders drawn back, abs are get engaged, abs are braced, chest is lifted. And we lower that back knee down to the floor, keeping the front heel down as we do. Or as close to the floor as we can take that back knee. So it doesn't matter if we can't reach the floor, we're just taking it as low as we feel we can. Two to go on this side. We'll step in. We'll swap sides, so band goes under the other foot. We'll take that long stride back. Feet hip width apart, chest is lifted, abs are braced, shoulders pull back. We drop that back knee as low to the floor as we feel we can. Drive into the front leg as we come back up. Last one. And then we can rest. We can put the band down. A little bit more work for these. This one's going to hit the hamstrings and glutes a little bit more. We're going to come down to the floor. Feet bow hip width apart. We don't want them any wider. We don't want them too narrow. Come down onto our backs. Here, the heel is roughly underneath the knee. We're going to squeeze through the back heel and lifting the hips. Keep that squeeze. Glutes and hamstrings. We hold here. Okay, we slowly lower to the floor. And we're going to repeat that a few more times. So we're going to lift and hold. So again, we focus on that squeeze, the back of the legs into the glutes, lifting the hips as high as we feel we can. Keep them level at the top. Keep that squeeze going. And then gently lower. We've got 3 of these to go. So we lift those hips again. Refocus on that squeeze into the bum and the back of the legs. Hips nice and high. And gently lower. 2 to go. Okay, let's go into lift those hips, squeeze into the back of the body. And then lower. We've got one more to go. One more round of these. Lift and hold. So really focus on that squeeze, lift those hips as high as we can. Keep that squeeze going to the bum, the back of the legs. Gently lower the hips back down to the floor. And we've got a few press ups next. So in a moment, not yet, but in a moment we'll take those hands a little bit out of shoulder or outside shoulder width apart. Our presence will be done on the knees or toes. We're focusing a bit on the tempo of these today. A bit like with the squat, I want you to keep them slow on the way down. So demo. So keep them nice and slow on the way down. As far as you can. So just at elbow height is as far as you can go to school. You go that little bit further, go a little bit further. Little pause at the bottom, and then quick to the top. 3 rounds, 5 reps in each one. I'm not being too mean with these today. I know they're like everyone's least favourite move. Lastly, they can be done on the knees and toes. You want to keep it slow on the way down. Little pause. And then quick to the top. Remember as we come down, elbows come slightly back, out to the side. They're not up here. They want to come down and out to the side. We spread the fingers. It's going to allow us to drive the hands into the floor. Okay. Step 1. Those hands in that comfortable position, we come up onto the toes. Strong core brace, or if we're on the knees again, still a strong core brace, and we lower. Keep it slow, little pause at the bottom, and then drive to the top. 1 down, 4 to go. Last one. Then you can rest. So we've got 2 more sets of those. We've got a little longer recovery. Ready for round 2, same thing, 5 reps, slow and controlled. So come up, either onto the knees or toes, strong core brace. Then we slowly lower down. We'll pause at the bottom, and then to the top. And we repeat. So slide again. Need to release into your heels. Here's one more round of those. Okay. Last set. 5 reps. Let's go. So knees or toes. Strong core brace with all the abs in, squeeze the glutes. And then we gently lower, keeping it slow. Little pause at the bottom. And drive to the top. One more time. And we're done with those. So again, if you need a little releasing back with your heels, stretch the arms out in front of you. Then we're going to need our band. So we're gently make our way back up to standing. Here we've got some flies. So we're going to take the band under one foot. We're going to take that foot behind us. And we're going to step the other foot through, whichever way you want to think about it. So we've got the band on the back foot. Our arms are down and out. We'll take the hands a little bit wide. Keeping a strong brace, we're going to lift the arms up and bring them in. So we start wide, then we bring up and in, so we're squeezing into the chest. We still keep that strong core brace. Try and bring those hands up to about shoulder height as we bring them in and towards each other. 2 reps to go. And rest. Now as we do that one, we're trying to keep the arms almost straight, bring them up, and the hands kind of towards each other so they come towards the middle of the chest. So like I said, we're going to squeeze into the chest. Then we start down here, bring it up, and I just turn this way. So we start like this, we're going to bring them up and kind of together. Like I said, squeezing the chest as we do. Strong core brace, keeping those arms almost straight so we're not curling them in. We have got a second round of those. Are we ready? For round 2, we can swap the foot if we want to, but you don't have to. It might feel more comfortable under the same foot. But that foot is back, hands are out to each side, a little bit away from the side of the body, chest is lifted, abs are braced, and we're going to drive those arms up, bring those hands kind of towards each other, towards the midline of the chest as we bring them up. Last one. And then we can rest. A little bit of recovery if you need to. You can give those arms a little shake out. And then in a moment, after we've had our recovery, so don't start yet, I'll tell you when. We're going to step on the band. We're going to hinge forward from the hips, so chest is lifted out to brace, nice flat back. So we're not lifting like this, we're lifting with a nice straight line, so we're keeping that strong brace the whole time. Hand on each hand, we're going to bring the elbows up and out. Squeezing the shoulder blades together. Now if it's easy with the handles in each hand, we can cross the band. So we still have a hand on each hand, but the band is now crossed, which is going to add in a bit more resistance as we drive the elbow out and wide. So we take the elbow wide, squeezing the shoulder blades in. Okay. Are we ready? Yeah? Or as ready as we can be? Okay. We're hinged forward from those hips, chest is lifted out to brace, hand on each hand, either crossed or uncrossed. And we lift those elbows up and wide, squeezing the shoulder blades in as we do. And then slowly back down. And repeat. Last one. And then we'll rest. A little bit of recovery time. And we're going to do that a second time. So again, for the second round, handles can be crossed, uncrossed. So if you did it with them crossed and it felt too much, uncross them. You can always grab a little bit further on the band. If you do need a little bit more resistance and crossing them was too much, the choice is always up to you. If it felt too easy with them uncrossed, maybe try it crossed. You can always uncross it halfway through if you need to. We've got another 10 reps to go. Okay. Let's go again. So we hinge forward from the hips, chest is lifted, out to brace, hand on each hand, and take those elbows up and wide. So we squeeze the shoulder blades in, taking the elbows wide. Go. Last one. And we can rest. We're done with those ones. We will still need our band. We've got a little bit of biceps to do. I have a bit of recovery first. for our bicep curls, so we need a handle in each hand. We're going to stand nice and tall. Again, don't start yet, I'm just going to demonstrate. And we're going to alternate arms. So we're going to come one hand up, as far towards the shoulders as we feel we can, and we'll slowly bring it back down, and then we'll do the same on the other side. We want to keep the chest lifted, that strong core brace the whole time as well. We're going to do 10 reps on each arm, and then we can rest. So let's take hold of those handles. And we start. So we come one hand up, as far towards the shoulders as we can, really squeezing that bicep as we do, keeping it controlled. And we do the same on the other side. So we stand nice and tall, chest is lifted, abs are braced. So we've got one more on each side. Then we can rest. We've got one more set of those. It's a bit of recovery time. Okay, so last round of work. 10 more curls on each arm. So we stand nice and tall, strong core brace, so we squeeze the glutes, we brace the abs, chest is lifted, and we curl one hand up as far towards the shoulders as we can, and we bring it back down, we do the same on the other side. So we're halfway through. One more on each side. And then we can rest. So we can pop the band down. Just got a little bit of a stretch from here. And we'll start by releasing those arms. So we'll take those arms out at shoulder height, thumbs towards the ceiling. Then we're going to rotate them down, thumbs towards the floor. So we get a nice stretch to the biceps. And then we'll gently release. From here, a little bit of a stretch of the legs. We're going to bend one leg, bring the heel up behind us, taking hold of the ankle. Needs to get a hip circle understanding nice and tall. So we need our balance. If we need to hold the ear arm out, whatever's going to help keep you balanced. And release. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So slight bend in the standing leg. We'll bring the other ankle up behind us, taking hold of it. Knees together, hips tucked under, standing tall. And then we'll release. So one last stretch. We'll take a nice deep breath in. As you do, we're going to sink into a little bit of a squat. We'll circle those arms overhead. As you breathe out, we'll relax the shoulders and circle the arms back and down. We've done one more time. Nice deep breath. As you breathe out, just relax your shoulders and circle your arms back and down. Awesome work, guys.